Hello, everyone. Welcome to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. And you're also listening to Going Solo TV. And we are so happy to have you on the show here tonight. We are on Date the Right One. And I am Cece Schatz, your host. I'm the doyen of relationship building. I am a divorce, dating, and a life coach. And I want to just give you my emails and contact information right off the bat so we have it. My email is goingsolonetwork@gmail.com. Of course, our website here on the media is goingsolomedia.com. And then everything we do for singles is on goingsolonetwork.com. I want to thank our sponsors tonight for bringing this show here forward. It's goingsoloCommunity.com and Meet the Right One. And if you haven't heard of those two sites, I will tell you that I am affiliated with both of them. And the Going Solo community is a community that connects those who have gone through relationship loss, such as possibly a death of a spouse or divorce, and they're transitioning into their single life, starting to really find themselves and move themselves forward into living their best life. And that's what's so important to us here on our Going Solo Network. And then Meet the Right One is a brand new dating site, something extremely different, something very, very unique out there. And it's a way of connecting individuals through different sources and through different means with coaching involved and allowing them to be able to meet each other in a very different way, and so very unique way. So if you're interested and you're ready for that step in your life, go out to meettherightone.com and check it out. So let's get on with our topic tonight, because I have been thinking about this topic for quite some time. It's what is it like loving you? What is it like loving you? And I heard this song recently from Maddie and Tay. Believe it or not, the same title. What is it like loving you? And let's switch it, right? Let's switch it to what is it like loving me? Because so often when we're talking about dating, we're going through the realms of dating, we're thinking about what it is that we're looking for, right? Who is it would be our ideal partner in life? And we have all of these, what I call a wish list, right? All of these things that we want. We want them to be tall, or we want them to be short, or we want them to be brunette, blonde. A lot of guys out there, you want a slim woman, you want a heavy set woman, you want a curvy woman, you want someone with personality, someone that maybe can cook, someone that's funny. We have all this wish list that we want. But do we ever think about ourselves? Like, what do we portray to our potential partners, to those individuals that are thinking about possibly dating us? What are we like? Do we have room? Have we made room in our lives for someone? Are we ready to present ourselves in a way in which we have an open heart, open mind? Those are the things that I think that it's very important. And so often I hear of individuals that have this blockage, right? They go on these different dating sites and they blame the dating sites for the troubles that they're having within dating. Well, I'm not meeting the right person, right? They're not coming forward. These dating sites are really not working for me. But the reality is that maybe as we swipe left and we swipe right so quickly, those are the individuals that could very well be the one for you. But what is it like loving me? You know, am I ready? Am I putting myself out there? Am I making myself open and ready for that person to step into my life? And when they step in my life, am I aware of it? Am I allowing that to be able to take place? Or do I let things in my life, you know, block me? And so that's what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about, what is it like loving you? What kind of person are you? Are there elements of you that are wonderful? And then are there elements of you that are like, oh my gosh, you know? And we all have it, including me. I'm out there dating. I totally get it. I'm not perfect. But let's talk about some of those things so we can be aware of them, so we can start opening ourselves up to them. And then I'll give you some tips too along the way that might very well help you as you move forward. But let's think about being open to love, being open to a partner. And so often we say to ourselves, well, when we're going to start dating, we don't really want love. We don't want the L word. I'm not saying that L word. I mean, I've been out with individuals that have said that. Well, I've said it, I've been afraid of that L word, right? So in reality, I'm really not that open, am I? Because what kind of relationship am I looking for? So I guess we have to be kind of true and blue to ourselves, right? We have to be clear to ourselves as to what exactly are we looking for. But better yet, what are we willing to give, right? Because if we find someone that's open and loving and caring, that really wants to step forward into our lives, but we hold ourselves back because we're afraid of moving forward, we're afraid of using the L word, right? We're afraid of falling in love. Where are we going to be? So the reality is that you have to really check your behavior. You have to check your outside behavior. You have to check your feelings inside. Do they match? And as we circle around, are our thoughts at the same place? So is our behavior matching how we feel inside, how we're portraying ourselves outside? What is really coming into our zone, right? Coming into our thoughts. Because as our thoughts are happening, our body is happening, right? The reactions in our body, the what comes out of our mouths, our energy level, our eyes, right? How we're communicating both verbally and physically. So ask yourself how you really feel inside about being with someone else by connecting with another partner as you're starting on this embarkment of dating, right? How do you honestly feel about that? How would you feel if today you met the one, right? Would you be prepared? Would you be ready to open that door? Would you be ready to put that smile on your face? Would you be ready to step forward? Ask yourself these kind of questions. Are we matching what it is on the outside, our behavior, as we're going forward in our lives? Let's focus on our feelings because we don't want to do that often, right? Because it hurts. A lot of times we think to ourselves, we don't want to go forward because we don't want to get hurt, right? So we'll play the game of entertaining to date, entertaining being someone. Maybe have the joyous feelings of going out, going to the movies, dancing, dinner, lunch, beach, whatever it is that we're doing. We'll have all of those fun times. But what does our feelings really feel about trying to make that true connection? Because if we're going to date, isn't that what we want, right? Or are we looking for just that connection because we're lonely, right? And if we're lonely, then there's something else we need to think about, we need to do. So, first thing, we need to be in touch with our feelings. We need to truly know and understand. And it's okay to feel however you're feeling. It's fine to feel that. But the reality is you have to acknowledge it and you have to understand it. Try to change the questions into statements. So often we question ourselves, right? So try to be more open with yourself, right? Make them statements. Often if we're moving forward in something and we want to be positive, we have all these questions in mind, all these doubts, right, that appear. So we want to turn them into statements. We want to make them positive. We want to create an environment for us that is going to be open and direct and moving forward into what we want. Create a vision in our minds as to what the end result will be, because that's what we want to focus on. We want to make that statement. We want to communicate not only internally, but externally, right? We want to communicate with people, communicate with the first person that you come across. So often we swipe left, we swipe right, and we don't give a care about what it is are really truly about that individual. All we're thinking about is, are we attracted to them, right? And they could be the best individual in the world. They could be the one that's ready to connect with you, the one that you've been waiting for, but you didn't communicate with them. So you have no idea. So I have a little thing that I do when I'm dating. Generally speaking, unless the person appears to be a jerk, if they contact me, right? If a guy contacts me on a dating site and he sends me a thoughtful, message that I can clearly see that he's read my profile, that he's interested in me. I look at his profile. If I'm interested at all, there's things that we might have in common. I try to put aside the looks. I try to put aside the pictures because it could be a bad picture. I try to step over that and see if there truly is possibly a connection. And if there's a thread of a connection there, I take that leap of faith and I make that communication and I come back, right? And I chat a little bit back and forth through the emailing. And just to see if there's a spark there of interest. If I can see that maybe the person is truly, in depth, really truly wants to move forward, or if they're just looking for a hookup, or if they're, anything like that, well, then there's reason to step back. But if it's positive, right? If there's a spark of interest, if there's some sort of common ground, then I take it a little step further. Then I take a phone call. I communicate. So I go then with the phone call route. If the phone call doesn't take place, then either he's not interested, he or she's not interested, or they're fake. If they're fake, they're fake. Then that's the way it goes. But if there is a phone call, then I listen to what they have to say. I try to get the individual to talk about themselves a little bit. And, I compare it with what they have written on their profile. But if there's an interest and if there's a rapport and if you're communicating and the line is open, right? Then you can try to step forward and possibly do another phone call or communicate a little bit more like that to where you feel comfortable enough to start meeting in person and then meet in person and then take it from there. But the point is you won't go down the road if you don't take the step, right? If you don't take that baby step to move forward into dating and move forward into meeting someone, you'll never get there, right? And so you have to be a little bit open with that. Don't say, I don't know, right? So often we say to ourselves, I don't know. And what it really means is that I don't care. I don't want to go for further, we put these roadblocks on ourselves all the time. Let's talk a little bit about space, right? So often when we're out there dating, we're thinking about the space, our space. We don't want someone to come in and invade our space. Oh my gosh, you're coming into my environment and you think you're going to invade my space. Why am I dating? Why am I out there, right? Why am I wanting to meet with someone? Well, the reality is they are going to come into your space. And you need to open your space willing and be welcoming, right? You need to clear your home, clear a space in your home for that individual to come into your place, right? Because then when they come in, it will feel good to them. They will have that vibration that they're welcome into your house. So here's a trick. Take a dresser drawer, right? Just a little dresser drawer space. Take a space in your closet and open that up for someone, right? Take your bathroom, go in your bathroom, create a little space in your bathroom for that person. Create these little spaces within your house, within your environment, and create that space for the other person to be welcomed into your house. And what that creates is a welcome into your life. You've created the mindset, the shift that someone is going to come into your life. And so when you make these little bitty spots of openness for them, they'll be able to be there in your home. And I'll share with you a story that happened to me. I dated an individual for 3 years. I dated him for 3 years. And at the time he was looking for, he had moved down and he had to sell his house up north, and he did all this stuff, and he was staying with his sister for a while, which she had a vacation home here, so it wasn't no big thing. But anyhow, but it wasn't his space, right? He didn't have a space. So I never thought anything about it. So then we're in this relationship for 3 years, right? And so he ends up buying a house, picking out a home that he wants to buy, which is further from me, but so it be. So anyhow, he then moved into the house. And when he moved into the house, he filled every portion of his house up. Every portion. He filled up every single closet. And this man purchased a huge house with many closets, many bedrooms, 2 floors. I mean, he had a very large home. But he filled every space. He filled up every cupboard, every closet, every drawer, every single space in the bathroom, both medicine, cupboards that were in the master bedroom, every single medicine cabinet that was in all his other bathrooms. And then when he went around, when I didn't think anything of it, and then when he went around and showed me his space, I realized as he's showing me, each closet is full. Each drawer is full. Each cabinet is full. Everything is full. He's showing me all of this. And you know what happened? I realized that there's no space in this home for me. And then I realized there were no space in his life for me. That I was just someone that was passing through. And so this is why I thought it was so important to do this show. How many times do we meet people in our lives that are the one for us, right? They truly are. They have that connection. We have that bond. We have that soul meeting, right? But we didn't allow them in. We didn't create a space for them. We didn't allow that vibration of welcome to come to us. And I think we do this as we're dating, right? As we're stepping forward into dating, we're doing this. And we're not allowing ourselves to create that space, that openness. And we're not allowing that space in our hearts to really fall in love again. And wouldn't that be an awesome feeling to actually be in love with someone? And better yet, not only we be in love with them, but they be in love with us. And so this is why I thought this show was so important today. What is it like loving you? So ask yourself, are you, in this song, I just was so touched by this song. And one of the questions in it, it said, will you kiss me first or do I have to lean in? And I thought to myself, what does that mean? Will you kiss me first or do I have to lean in? Do I have to do all the work or are you willing to meet me both, halfway? And then the other one was, and I thought this was interesting, it says, do you wake up with the sun or do you stay up with the moon? And that's one of the questions I kind of ask as I'm dating, right? Are you an early riser or do you stay up late? So you kind of see if you're a little bit on the same wavelength. That doesn't mean that has to be that's not that you can't work that out, right? But it's curious to see, do you wake up with the sun or do you stay up with the moon? So those are kind of things that's like, what is your life like? And so what I'm going to ask you, and we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about some more things when we come back. But what I'm going to ask you before we go on our break is, what would it be like walking in your shoes? What would it be like loving you, right? And then when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But what is it like truly loving you? If I was with you every day, all day long, within your space, within your mind, within your heart, what would it be like loving you? And how difficult would that be? That's what I want you to ask yourself while we're on a break. So we'll be back in like a couple minutes. So just give yourself some space, some time, and think about that. But when you come back, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth as to what it's like loving you. You guys are listening to Date the Right One. I am Cece Schatz. I'm the doyen of relationship building. I am a divorce, dating, and a life coach. And we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about more things that's going to create you to be able to create this shift in your life to create what it is that you want. And all very positive as we move forward. I want to thank again our sponsors tonight, which is goingsolocommunity.com and meettherightone.com. I am affiliated with both of those sites. And so just so that you know that, but we hope that you'll check them out. So stick with us. We are on goingsolomedia.com, WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, which is our live streaming radio station. And we have our brand new TV station, which is called Going Solo TV, which is on Roku now. So we are very excited about that. So stick around. We'll be right back. I love you guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. I am Cece Schatz, the doyen of relationship building. You're listening to Date the Right One. And, I also do the show Going Solo with Cece. So I want you guys to know that some of this show will probably be also played on there. But in order to reach me, I want to make sure you guys have on my information. It's goingsolonetwork@gmail.com. Of course, our media site here is goingsolomedia.com. And everything we have for our singles, and I do want you to know that everything we have for our singles is on goingsolonetwork.com. So you can find all of our websites on there, all of our information. I'm losing my voice, my information, and know that it's all there for you. And we have sponsors for the show. So we have our sponsors, goingsolocommunity.com and meettherightone.com. So check out those websites. I am affiliated with those sites, so I want you to know that. But let's talk about our topic tonight. We talk about what is it like loving you? So what is it like loving you? If I'm going to walk in your shoes, right? If I'm going to walk next to you, beside you, with you, what is it like being with you all the time? What kind of person are you? Really? Where do you go? What makes you tick? What makes you happen, right? And so this part of the show, we talked a little bit about that at the beginning, being open and opening yourself up to love, what you need to do with that. Now let's be prepared, right? Let's start the preparation of having someone into your life. And I tell you what, all of this that I share with you, is something that I have done myself, right? I have experienced a lot of this myself. And so, I've walked the walk, right? I've kind of walked in your shoes. And so I want you to know that the reason I share this is because I know how important it is, and that we all want that true connection with someone. So let's have some of the tips on preparing yourself. First thing, we have to open our hearts, right? We have to be able to really know what we want, how much we're willing to give, what we truly want in our lives. We have to be complete with ourselves. Now, what does that mean, being complete, right? You truly have to understand yourself and what it is that you're looking for, not only in someone else, but in yourself, right? We can't expect something from someone else if we're not willing to give it ourselves, right? And so we have to know not only what our expectations are, but what our limits are, what it is that we truly, truly want. We have to be, true to ourselves to be able to move forward. And so understand that we're all broken, and but we're not alone, right? And so we all have baggage, right? Everybody always says, "Oh, I don't want anybody with baggage." Get real. In my lifetime, you're going to have baggage. There is no way someone my age or anyone near me is not going to have some sort of baggage in their life. The baggage is what makes them who they are, right? And so here's what the reality is how has the experiences that has touched your life, how has it shaped you to who you are? Has it shaped you to be a better person, or an insecure person, or a fun-loving person, right? What has it done? We all have stuff, right? But we can be supportive of each other, and we can hold each other's hand and walk through it together. So to tell someone that you don't want their baggage is basically telling them that I don't, I'm not going to release any of mine, right? And so that's very important, and that we certainly don't want someone to feel like that. So we've got to understand we all have baggage, we all have stuff, right? And so it shapes the individual as to who they are becoming. And you are continuously shaping, continuously living and growing as you move forward in your life. Each person that comes into your life touches you somehow. They touches your heart, they touch your soul. And that's why it's so hard sometimes with dating, is because individuals touch your heart and touch your soul. And then to be able to move forward after a relationship loss of some sort, it's painful. It's very, very painful. But with that, with each step and with each one that you meet, there's a growth involved, right? It's something that you can learn and you can take away from that, and you can better yourself and understand yourself a little bit more. So sometimes those individuals that hurt us the most, we learn the most from, and we learn the most from ourselves, right? So we have to kind of look at it like that. It's kind of the way it is. But we can't be fearful, and that's the next thing, is fear no more. We can't be fearful to be able to move forward, because if we do that, we don't exist, right? We just go through the everyday humdrum of living, and we don't truly exist in life. Because to be able to be with someone else, share your life, your essence, your soul with someone, is truly the most wonderful gift you can give someone. And for them to do it to you, it back in return, it just totally is the essence of what we live for, I think. And so, but we can do that in many ways. We can touch people's lives in many different ways. And individuals, maybe not necessarily in a dating way, but in a friendship way. I mean, I have many, many friends that have really touched my life, that have really created a spot in my heart, and I have learned from, that has shaped me as to being who I am. And so I think we have to really truly embrace individuals into our lives. The other thing is we have to forgive people that hurt us, and we have to forgive ourselves. And we hear that a lot, as we move forward in a relationship loss, forgiveness, right? Forgiveness of ourselves. And so often we think, why didn't it work? Why didn't that relationship work? Why didn't that dating relationship work, right? And we get hung up on the fact that maybe it wasn't supposed to, right? Maybe it was supposed to point us in a certain direction as we move forward in our lives. And so I think we can take from that and we can grow. And sometimes you hear of people that have met, broke up, and then sometime later they've gotten back together. And the reason being is because they're not at the same place as they were when they first met, right? They found a quality of themselves, a quality of the individual that they connected with that was true, but they weren't ready for that yet as they move forward. And so sometimes we have to allow ourselves space and forgiveness to be able to move forward in that. And so if we leave a wake of disaster as we travel through our lives, what is that saying about us, right? So I'm thinking as we move forward in our lives and we create relationships that maybe they work or they don't work, we can still create friendships and we can still grow from that. And that's what I do believe is important to us. The other thing is choose to be positive. That's a hard one when we're going through difficult times, to choose to be positive, choose to be uplifting. But here's the thing, when you are positive and uplifting, it changes the whole demographics of where you are and what you are and who you are and who wants to be with you, right? Who wants to be with somebody that's negative and talks about, maybe all the negative things that happen in the world today. But if you can be positive and uplifting and want to move forward in a grander way, right? People love to be around someone like that. They catch that vibe, right? And so you want to be positive. And when you do, it creates a shift not only for others around you, but it creates a shift for yourself. As you move forward, it creates that shift for yourself. And I'm not saying that there aren't times when negative gets you, things get you down. Then you have a good friend you call and you kind of, cry on their shoulder and you tell them how you feel, right? And then you dust off and you get back up again and you keep moving forward in a positive direction. You sometimes we have to kind of reset a little bit, as we move forward. And so having a good friend that can allow you to let it out, to be able to, and I have friends like this, and I call them and I tell them whatever the thing is, and then I just try to release it and let it go, right? And I hope that they do the same thing for me, that I do the same thing for them. So the reality is that not everything can be positive, but to try to have a positive attitude, to move forward in a great way, to be able to shed light on something, certainly changes our mindsets and those around us. So we do want to try to keep a very positive attitude. The other thing is do things that you love. If you want to open your heart, you got to do things that you truly love doing. Because if you don't, you are going to get in the humdrum of being negative, right? Because who wants to be doing something that they totally don't like doing? Now, sure, there are things in life that we have to do that we don't like doing. And, there are jobs that we have to create, that we have to accomplish that we don't necessarily like. But try to focus on the things that you truly do enjoy, things that you are really, that really set you off and really keep you on that upper level. The other thing is to master self-awareness, right? So often as we move through life, we're not really aware of ourselves and truly what it is that we want in life. And so creating this self-awareness of what makes us happy, what what it is that we want in our life as we move forward in dating and creating relationships with other people, creating that space, that openness, creating that the self-awareness that this is what I like, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to give. This is I'm giving this forward, right? Openly and easily forward. So these are the kind of things that you want to think about as you move forward in your life. And as we start creating this space for someone to step forward and be welcoming into our lives. So I'm going to leave you with that last question that I thought was so interesting. So will you kiss me first, or do I have to lean in? So let me ask you, take that leap, you know. If being with someone, loving someone is truly what you want in your life, be ready, be willing to step forward. Be willing to put yourself out there. Be willing to open your life, open your house, open your closets, open your space. Create that positive energy vibration. Raise it to the level that that person that is the right one for you will feel it, they'll hear it, and more importantly, they'll want it, right? And so this is what we want to do. This is what we want to create. I hope you guys will join us each and every week. I am Cece Schatz. I'm the doyen of relationship building. I am a divorce, dating, and a life coach. I hope I've helped you out a little bit today as you move forward in creating a life that you so desire, that you so want, and that you are so entitled to. And I really do hope and wish all of your dreams come true, everything that you look for. I hope you'll join us here on the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. It's a 24/7 streaming radio station. Just go to goingsolonetwork.com, click the button, and there it is for you. You can listen to any time of the day or night that you feel like you need to hear shows. We are on YouTube, and you can listen to them there. We are now on Roku, and I hope I'm saying it right. If I always mess that up, but so on Roku, we have 2 stations on there now, which is called Going Solo TV. And then we also have Going Bold TV, which is a very inspirational TV station. We also have this show, which is Going Solo with Cece, up on that. That's live up there too. And we're going to start and kick off a brand new TV station called Everyday Life. Everyday Life. And that's going to be a very inspirational. It's going to touch on religion. It's going to touch on some of our beliefs as we move forward in our lives. So we hope you'll join us there. We are growing leaps and bounds, and it's all because of you. And I want to thank you so much for being supportive, being with us, allowing this station and myself to grow and be happy and really embracing life and living it as today. So we are really, really happy that you're with us. I hope you're enjoying all the other shows right after me. If you're here on us live, right after me, we're going to have the Going Solo Veterans show up, and Paul Holbert is just I just idolize him. He's just an awesome individual with huge guests that our veterans have given their lives to defending our country and us individually. So I hope that you guys will listen and support them, especially, and I know we're probably not supposed to date the show, but especially this Memorial weekend, I hope that you guys will embrace each other as you move forward in your lives and just be an impactful individual so that you can help not only shape your lives, but shape other people's lives as you move forward in yours. So love you guys. I'm Cece Schatz. I'll catch you next time. You guys, again, are listening to the new show we have out, which is called State the Right One. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do, giving you tips on dating, on connecting and building relationships. Again, I'm Cece Schatz, the doyen of relationship building, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.